the mid-year review, citizens' perception survey on series of issues. Politics kakraka home, general issues, also on the people's view on it. And rather, I'll find a way of including it into the questionnaire near here near Oman for so ajuni echiro mofa near AC and rano any constitutional review for so issues no dia ban ho near the meaning say constitutional review na consulting wide, but I still would want to know the so-called ordinary people on the street what their feeling is on the various issues na constitutional review ndia ban nti akoya chinche ofi asesa na wa mpemre NDC chase ano ahwe ne ekoso a na Ghana so yehunu ketu asa ne so pa me amafa me ho adi ekwan ya na menua honorable eka ho asemi akra kumase anadwu kura de konongwesi ma ahimachefo na eba no wa ansa wachi ankwankofa konongo dumase for school no mu ankofa sa enu na yesa wo frustrated ni waka kromo esi me sure say bana the police atimi akokoko clear road no but esi ehwa akronwa so nipa 13 to 15 ewu ye some 2 weeks ago eba news mu konongo fie nrechi akra kumasi road ya so accident esi nipa 16 ne prior ba ku free mu me ka kosi say yepe express road no nana enso yesi ebi de wanuma na oto ayabi enti ye be hwema from nipa 15 from nipa enrechi nipa 1 near prafo be over 15 ye be hwema nipa sen for how long kusi 6 years time wa express road be ready no enti na ye stress whereas we still work on the express road no nana a national call minim sempani for na mu tie omanfo na dwenkyere so de ka omo yi ho. Yes, we don't hate the express road, but nipa so nkoso engu emprasa e wo kwan ne so 6 years time na nipa di dem nipa epra no nyame amfafia na ya abro so enti ni aye kan wadaroma muntie akra kumase kwan is begging for attention na mo hwe na mo nya ho bibi sisi ai pass bypass no a ekopie cement for no ho Bomfa Junction no buem ho no no. That bypass is now growing back as a forest. Erosion na erode kwan na mo felewie na msen kaka krab na gumba begusu kura no. Erosion na sambo boom to kuro asama valley abedi dem as e kase ye ko hu bi we ka be bono. Na se first kan nyina ato nsuom. Bypass is kakra ketua bi a ya wo fa nyina machi ho no a ukosi so no. First class road. Eno so ke se kodobu twam da so ase kwan so akoko pie English ye chi na ka watwa enyinam traffic den nyina egu bypass overhead bridges ni ade ni nyina our eyes can see enti ye sha mani nyina sa ko down to the drain na what kind of country are we the kadna ye man be pa ye de ensam campfire ho sa ye ni ho hwe so ye boka ye nyine ho who pass a kapan is the overhead that leads to a nyinam no a ufri ankasia ubukev fa. Check the road now ubukev siswa road aya fa so first class. The idea was good. It takes you off the traffic. Sure. And so sabio minim ye jat ho anka uwie sa double road ne be pie new University of Energy then Esiakwa Junction ne so anaka wa fetchiro umfa osi no kra no akohia sa traffic na esi osi no 2 hours na ojino osi no krom enti wadaroma so mbetie yen. Nobody is against the express road. It is the best, it's the way forward. But while at that nanaya we can't be dying for the next 6 years. Nyame mpangu ya ye yusu sa kwan ne de ye nam so bia ye yemhwehwe o ba ku bia miampa me se me to mebo nanaya misro portals me type pai o kwan so brebi ntino from that day me very careful driving. I know all the spots are potholes. Want me do one of them, they may slow down. With all my carefulness, me bahamne mubi mami ya mushemia. No, me say that na me say me very careful. No crano. Charlie, I'm ready. I'm bomunti mesre. Na enya national attention crano. DC is NMC is a more kind so no. Mosha mo portion of the road no. Yes, na say mo be fele apache bi kra ma yenya. The irresponsibility is becoming widespread. You are right. And ensure be ase. South Forest. South Forest no a uwie eya uwie ensuo no a Eastern region na Ashanti region barrier no ensuo kitwa na da ho no.
What they call Sankara.
Na ufiri wa no wura dadie so barrier railway crossing hono no aye ufiri ono pe na fe ubeti esi forest bi e keve wim sa keve no kretimi keve asa kopie in price MP Minia Davis opoku so ni ku ekitu abi sa hye ho sa keve ne so hono ehye Asante Achem South ase ehye obi ase breku ede ko hon man na wako Philadelphia for no hono no aye ni nyina hye obi ase if central government is not fixing the entire road monso as local government exactly. I fall under you people you can do something honorable they can do something intermediate enchiano baby am dey fa ka to honorable there so say just within 2 weeks ni Konongo fie the pictures are here esi wo Konongo the DC the MC at Konongo can confirm to government say ni kuro mfimfini pe nipa 13 who at the spot two ko ka ho they reported 15 deaths. The spot of the accident is still there right now. Ewo Konongo fia me de mitwa mo mi ko to accident ne so. En enrechi ya so obako ewu nipa 15 ne pra enrechi ya. Enti 6 years for multiply we say nipa hin ne be wu ansana ya wie ayin. They should do something about it.
Say ya na enchobo na ewu akire ni nti o. Eno nti na akwan ho asem o man we no kan na che say wabre because me aka akwan ho asem akwan no say you tukwan
yes
tukwan prof utukwan ya sabi uko UK kwan dada na ho say omo person omo ye nfoforo omo di bibe guso emu omo waawai
yes
ba ye ha
yeah
uma contractor I just obe why quota ne
first obe waawai ni
no na ebetmi abalun we in contract no what is the message so at the end of the day no ye di ye ho abro eti obewie no kwan so hwe kwan ni thickness a kiti ensio to ya ka kese fa so na ni nyina eti ya kwan sem no de say ya nya deliberate about it na say ye say ye pe asphaltic roads in this country na say debia no ye be ye fofora ye be wa so there we also have a long way to go.
Na no social media na mrante bia why kwan na kitom to say plate bi o ma wa e dey krom ni ade
na me say emre bi contract bi ye kwan sa kwan na ewiabo a kwan ni timi hu ti say balloon enframa na kwan na se no na me ni ba bi osuan engineering work you see but ye tua nika
yeah of course
Sanyama we nyina yaka ho asemo in fact Kumasi and crime Quantimpo no dear second largest
arguably the busiest road.
It's supposed to be the busiest. Hey,
okay. Road engineers this morning.
Nana, what mommy antenna hosa. Antenna footro nim sa. Na come some footro pa dia kwa kogu panyini bi edan ano amana hu se ekwan no so mfaso bi aye de ye faso.
Cousin fear panic. Sa charge bi na the boy run no that so dem no kan e den. Camila no. Camila that so dem. Oh, Nana Yao. For every single day that lady stays in prison, I weep for this republic. Nana, for some reasons. Oh, Nana, I have my reasons why for every single day. But
is that when you are gagging free speech, which is fundamental, a writer, Ubia enjoy. Inti say free speech is abaya no na no kra ko traso a. Inti aso twen kesiese near the man. Oh, you know, Nana Yao. In fact, selective application of law in this country, no. Emboa obi bia o. Say koto de ne bodwa nyanyanche de onko. We in this country na nkrofo egu nipa bi hu fi kika nsem akese to won so trete wo mu. Ba biza hu say e bia once e ho na bia ba ko bi de asotwe aba ama no. But then na de akoye te say o kasa na wo hwe wachi. Apostles of Democracy NDC foi asem ne ye kan you. Ene omama omai Ghana che say oye o sori kra na ye mahye wo. I don't know me in Paboni Fosi. It won't omo beg or say baby a democracy adri. Mom pese ni pasa bechero madwene wo man we mu. Mom pese ni pa bechero madwene.
Na se service na na ya we. Mom enya badaya kakra. Eye obi ba and come back me na kotum
I don't know obi ba
now ba besia what me use konkodua oba aka ni mpre a chese said o musi twitwa no na sebi woye nipa ansem na ye kan yo oba besia pa emema timi the bet timi the bet e twitwa na man the body obi amomache na wie and ade ye me time cra so ba ko ekoso ne say some of the police officers say the accused person be equal. Look at the one handle no. Ni ye twetwe ha ni atwe ha. Ni ye mia na no se so by tan 22 forever. Me dwene ho amenti ase.
Oti ase so wa anwene.
Na yaw. Eno so ya eno so firi hene. Na ye wo say yes ye pia se ho ye omo tan. What is that? Professional police officer who handle accused. Nipa no cry has not been convicted. Now who handle in a manner highly humiliating.
Not any prior conviction
and very embarrassing.
Yeah, anyway, I heard the walk table no sound of pain now. It is what it is.
The cardinal.
Prof.
But I insist that for each single day a rano a besimitim so the prison for this. I weep for this republic. Make us much a penny be penny case over Prof and can say we 24. Did you get it? And can say me 24. Senior, why na what is a to a binumo for? Hey, and a binum quan here for to a binum here for two.
So we because I buy a crack of bisa and an room there. Hey, Kevin Taylor.
Be there.
I say
I don't want us to go back, but
and someone Prof. I
don't know be there, yeah, dear, and no be there, yeah, dear, you who say, yeah, nine. What kind of visual separations are I don't know. And to me, dear, my penny, name penny for 80, I'm moving to me release lady, no. Me name how family life, her family life name Ma or one
no,
yeah, but for every single day that lady stays in prison, I insist, I will continue to weep for this republic. There's a mobro phone because why you mobro. Come on.
My penny extend presidential pardon to Yenua Bay. Why? Yes, sir. Na fe de asem no kra time o man panyin na nkasa kra no cassette am crofo e wo kromo ha ni nyina ye de che no what is the mecha you see where's be emro call parliament ni nyina ye de che no enti edru ba bi we should tamper justice with mercy
na mebo
no ya twena so kakra yenja yenua
another question near organizer no yeso akoka sati Bawumia na Dr. Bawumia say ono onya interested in that case. And your Jana na say ono so chenchena nipa nya interested ko mu so prosecute no.
To be honest, maintain the
update on that case. They should leave that gentleman and leave that gentleman. Sabi obia woni din obo Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia din Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia so onya interested in the case. You get it? Munja no dey hwehwe ni mu no.
Odo ma twena so kakra
they should leave that gentleman ono so we abusuan yi
aso twen there. Please, minimum
Nana, if they should prosecute that gentleman, I'll be sad for this country. If they don't release the Camilla lady, no, I'll continue to.
Because sometimes out of frustrations, no,
prison chrono. Is that where they are hurriedly putting the lady there over this? Prison chrono prison for let's be sensitive kakra, let's be passionate kakra as a people.
Mate madam wase Professor Sarpong and honorable Collins Usu Amanko I hear him say honorable Bernard Bedi Akon Beidu eba be kan ye ho no na akwatia
B3
but you train say B3 beba be kan yensa no Randy.
Yeah, Nana.
Me no chance me ma 15 minutes and a good table no so no.
Yeah.
Pacho the opesa can be within 15 minutes. And I'm rano so ne say wo ka say obi ani ho kwan so obam gise me. Enti sa so na obi so ka sa.
I just say wo.
Ai. Me pe ana me wo. Asa time na me dia. Bet we crack at just na ko mention no. Enu so be den.
Ah. For democracy nya djuma obi any be hadwene say democracy ni via hapa dia any be hadwene
da be media na nya absolute democracy Mr.
Anyway say
Randy start
no ya that, sorry ya fe ya boka gu. Say, Mr. Randy, 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 93 million down the drain. Court of Appeal acquits former Maslog boss. But AG heads to Supreme Court. Nana yao. Na watch the ope court wa jini dimpa wo ewiase mu ha Court of Appeal Ghana.
Ade.
Hey, Nana yao.
Collins.
Chese ensem no me de meti ye na nkasa no meti apai me aba besine. Na bisa me ho se. Hey. Wo ma yenhwe niam yi. Yenhwe niam yi pa. Attorney General there well experienced legal practitioner, academic, politician, or a former senior colleague in parliament. Sabi Juarungu Abrantie Abogatanga na Obonebra Wakusku Unimde na me kenkan judgment no madine ho yaw kakra na yaw amadie no minkomu bebre na emumu no mesrese Supreme Court no de nko njai na yaw
Ade.
the cause 90
is saying.
oh na yaw I'm not a legal practitioner except to say me a paralegal na say court acquittal discharge obi na in criminal jurisprudence asem na making you na attorney general say or kwa ko overturn this decision. I don't think say is known in criminal jurisprudence except to say civil law and sadie no be hu no ewom nti maame no so na ye criminal charge in ye debubo no di be ye cosnenti me from where I sit me gitum say attorney general na nkasa timi identify on record say ensem na omona state na the ball maame no na incomplete dia na wantimi am fill in and now one draw court no attention say we any defects are detected based on records now we jaho na say judgment aba na ya acquitted maame na discharge in dia me mesre say attorney general say use taxpayers money ko file bibia enko bibia because o kind said almost eye boapaye eboapaye say ye kwan be na be fa so maame na be free no enti no ye ma tokro bi medo na maame ne mfa mu pie na emumu no de ha me ne say 93 million okay kan nyina kra bomu a odim say cost implication is I think is more than 500 million. Yes, more than 500 million. Ghana city nyen kwada sika na ye ka ho asem enti sa 93 million no nyina se ye pese e kire se ni nyina no ko waste na asem na da ho na yasem kase o enti sika fa maame no sebi ne nsem a ya ka ho asem ya kantamanto emeyi ejahyehe wo mu sika ya maame ekodi maame hu a ya ka ho asem ye o mantima nkire ba bi sika no account ekotu mu ene ba bi ekodi ye no enti ye ja ho sa na enti maslo sika o mede call Batampa Microfinance Company Limited no maame no odinsi hu kase a microfinance for no ka se omuntimi enu nti no nsa magi sika ne back no se sika no a omudi gu Ghana must go mu ehia no bacho na no se sika no ye hunu bio no se sika no so no ekwa na asembe na ye ka ne krom ha sei enti say ya quitting na discharge ne kra na sikasem ne so are we saying say there were no procurement breaches? In fact, and some no akoso no Court of Appeal. Asem na no odi o. So try judge no. What na say edi asem no. Wa bregu ati ase. Say opro didi a onwam so didi. Anonymous appeal this morning. Say Sedina Tamaklo Ationu Ationu Edidia your regional chairman won't to me so edidia because the didn't in America sir it's so sickening say Obako die onumpo die enyo ono ankasa na directly oko engage in sa illegal mining no na emumu no yesi wakofa aban to me kakra akọ transfer mineral right no ni sell to me no eno nti onko afiase 20 years with hard labor na kwan yo mo fa so try chema won to me wo kromo ha no nana yaw Usain Bolt echen wo mo che o se ogina field etumrika na se ogina tracks etumrika na se wo hwe se ekwan a expeditious trial omodi ye regional chairman efemu wo kromu ha edru baabi a che se court no kra break kra akodi kra otimi se de aduane to omo a che se ekwan bia so e was say chairman asem no ye din in terms so ye din in terms so ye boa ne kumfo ye de na kwa akotwiri mu 20 years ye ma me said dinam same court no competent court of jurisdiction etna na asem so court no started di na asem no adru ba bi ye ma me say ne ho dodo no nti okohwe ne ho yare okọ United States of America ne ho to no nyina na wo ho wa mabio wa mao appeal no woni timba wa mao o twen se na ban ene ne party beba abem ene maami aban NDC ne wo ho ne party ena ewuru oman we ne se ni nti no akwa ba se ono nso so 10 year jailer sentence court no de man no high court de man no ene court of appeal say a wasted can say resources say court no betina so be canin 78 counts ni nyina onkofie sika no obatampafo sika ye kodi ni wonyina maame ni nkonu nkonkodi maame no say yes yegna acquitted and discharge ne de Prof, so decision ne de ba dia ene de na chese woni obi ani ase woni obi ani ase mo bibie mu woni obi ani ase mo bibie mu it say no na wo hwe 3-member panel na court of appeal be share omudin Justice Emmanuel Ankama on the preside here Justice Samuel Obeng Diewu and Justice Emmanuel Senior Amedahi. Yes, we money akuku damwa. Omotina asem ne so. Wo money PM fo a omotina asem ne so. Na me hwe Emmanuel na nam se ampa nyame ne ho ampa. Because hwe said the decision na bana. Onyame ne maame ne ene ho sisi a chese edi asumdue sonko abre no. Na emum amagana no kwan a NDC for the amagana efaso no asefem kwan a ban we de my Ghana efaso no asefem kwan a ora Mahama ban yi amagana omu evrepi amagana hye na ne ya no ano odin papa say 93 million cedi down the drain just like that sikano nyina ekọ. So are we saying say ayampa say time wa ma me ne kwaji sikano every say microfinance ne ho no say sikano anko account to be am na mo yi cash omo withdraw cash ene de ma me no ti say sikano hini ne kosi ye asam we de etwa so ntwa ye o mom ye nhwe wo ye o sen pon court no de be na court say omo akwete na discharge no na emumu no say fine bi kra attached to her and at least make us say Ghana sika bi akwa ekọ ye no yensa ka sika no kakra but here we are sika ni nyina court of appeal say oh ma me no fa ne hu nkodi ni nyina kan sesem ma me anya ne ho tam ebe sponsor NDC party tam wo krom ha all because court to say onfa ne hunkonkodi na emom sikasem ne de bibia no yenka ho asem bio a ye gya ne nyina de manyankopon wo krom ha ye gya de manyame na kwanya NDC for de Ghana for bi nam so yimu a koso in a legal you can say justice system as him a highly pathetic court of the nebodwe ye nyanche de onko ene wasemba etimi hwedin o NDC ne eno an say attorney general file nolly prosecute kone ko didi ye jao aben yi ba ye ono an nkrofo osusu so mo ye ne party madie wajai wo mo dodo na wajai wo mo ene am body NDC for okromo a ushia NDC ni bia chesa wo tia ne kra wontie adan a court no gina yachi sa suban wei eye suban a emwa eye suban a in fact prevent even investors from investing in our economy. Say, hey, where lies the justice? Say me be investment you cry na say aben at the selective application of law na ye adwuma dia. Ene say ne baby a me free ba no me sika kam cry ye mfa mame. Eti aban no wonhwe niema yi o. Wonhwe niema yi. Mesre Attorney General say ye nyina ya gya to mu say Sedina Tamaklu ya maame no onko fie sika fan nsem ene afoforo bi conspiracy to steal na mo sa charge ne say e stealing na ni nyina ye kan nsem ni nyina wie ye nenne court of appeal say ye free maame no say ye sika sem na ye kan dia ene obi also koye adwuma bia yesu say onya sika free mu no ene say nipa no so ye free na justice for all if not to dia ene mesre NDC for any moral right be say henceforth omo be chastise MPP ni bi anase people perceive to be opposition members say omo din semone because what is good for goose is equally good for the gander na se koba say ya na ye be kono dia ene where is law of equity? He who calls for equity must come with clean hands. And someone this for can ye anti-corruption. Ye ba ye be say. Sika bia e kodi di nkrofobia no mo wo NDC aban dada ni mo afa o masa aba no. Enne me ne wo ka say Attorney General Jani 2 mean so and also a member but a minister for justice. Enti no and Attorney General enti wo a cabinet minister. Cabinet eshia cabinet adwene ho say obi oye NDC ni bia ye hwe na ye na sem no ye mfa nche no ye de asem amanyame wo kromu ha ye de asem amanyame na ye nyina ye wo kromu ha so because ana ye wo man mu ha e kwan amafa so a mo eye justice for say no mo man ye hwe ne ma ye o mo man hwe ne ma ye elsewhere e hye bufuo da ko ebe me nipa ni bi aka say aden enough is enough intention e doso e kwan amafa so a mudin yi mu ena ebu man no e doso aban yi din semoni bebre okokan ya na omatikokum acha se sei ena yebeti na kromu ha dia na sei ena aban yi ba be ye pa dia then we have a long way to go. So to the best of my knowledge henceforth Samu kasa bebre na we diska na NDC for no munyaka. Munni Samu right in bio. Munyaka. Because a court of appeal decision by me who no more comments. Suddenly much shifting goalposts. Afe mu defend this and Attorney General Dadano did shoddy job. But the question is new Attorney General so by or detective say claims, including records, incomplete, and also so no. What do you have to say? What do you have to say? And then people are just being hypocritical and pretentious in this country, especially NDC, because nyachun any ekwanya mo faswa modi nipa bi e faso no anodin
what statistics akasima ba ko ne fa
anodin na yo and TikTok say ye profile oni ahwe account. You share account. You share baby a free ba. You share previous post awaye. wo hɔ na ye send you message wo hɔ na ye threat bi mu na wo ye bechew ni omo jai NDC foi okay omo say ba ko bi boy bi a odo na no si ye flag bearer so Dr. Mahama Bawumia o kaseti ano da bia abrantie no omo akochi ono je say mo pese mo dey equalize ye crofo na je say ade na say 10 against 1 mo chi ye crofo do na mo ache mo de ba ko mo nya say su by tantan no mo pa mo de mo chi ye nkuje nyina ngum mo arrest all of us. We are sick and tired of saying next week you bet you way. And then we are building a nation. We are building a country. Power transient. NDC would never be in power forever. It is a ne. And a President Kofoka was say power is tricky. Because of the Ghana for to Abama and then almost 2 tests. I think they are even 2 tests. In Parliament. Absolute majority. So now no what dreaming now is all about power and I'm more the mope now make us same way. Say Ghana for will regret giving absolute power to NDC. Shanyama omodeba. Na yamaso na momuno nanaya me de mano basa constitutional review no.
Onya time pa choma men komransa. E ko bana so benya constitutional na. Me cancel so about betrase. And I'm about cancel charge because na so kwa kwatia no yimi eja no nkwa fa kwa no ko. Kwatia so den kam ne wa. Cancel.
Onim se mikrom ne wanchi o.
Oveni gadi jano. Akwa ba.
Prof free wanchi o.
Yeah, me there. Now what is it?
Oh, yeah, me adu me ho ya pa. So here.
Oh, nyankopon adom.
Pa.
Na se nema wo ye tia me na enye fe. Nyesa de aka.
That's all you say me nya obone.
Na say de
bia wo di mu. So wo inherit asset ni liability. Ti papa e body o do afansa.
They got now
egu.
US for ni so mutie o, Massachusetts for no mutie o.
Ya mo ma chia no pe. Ya mo ma chia. Kanzo. Enyema egu me pronso America ho asema no pe. Enra said na asemi e wa ha. Supreme Court say no more delegate system and so wa ha. AGC presidential term na e 5 years no aban pen so and so e wa ha say issues nyina ada.
Me na make say no.
Bacho wa.
Sa fe ma ba make ka me thought bu.
Me bacho me pese mitio.
So pese ka sa. Oh no problem, any problem.
Pese mitio adwen kire was
you see
in the next 15 minutes bacho.
Me dance na yesa come no yen 20 na me ma preliminary way ni kaka
sao
20
o dem the 2 aka I am 17
we shira mpo awi na say wo ni problem bia you see me chia pa chia etiefo ne ahwefo ene me pepo a no ma bishia wa the chia me kromfo akwatiafo nso am so ya mutie opa
me yo nso
na akwadum market women
uni mo mba on no na Thursday a omo ye market day by na no mo ho ba den te se dwada na nkasa ti ye chia umpa akwadumfo ana e ba no enkomo ketwa bi amete bebre but kakra me pese me putting in the proper perspective na ye tie ho ase no enye se Oman democracy niema democracy fapem ejina yie eyesi ye gym ready near dem ra ye adwuma rule of law e frankomo a enti onsem egu epon so nia no e ka no bi empempi no niema hu ne se ase se ye shada dia na no asamba nia ye ne se ye play on the keyboards of people just emotional blackmail ni akeka na sa ni ko but me susu se nye se ye betena fidie su se ya titiriw ni so nyankopon aye adom na ye ya krachefo ni nwrafo kakra ni ye ba be kirekire nsemu ama me nana me maame na bia ma o wa chimta krase beti ase na wahu se eni akoni ya na ya di no kra ma ye ho sa yachi we yenya no no ifri he e bada ben sa kasa nkofo ka any ade da bia maka no afidie so and I'll repeat it because they keep doing it so much that dia ye brana na do danko akufuado as attorney general our President Kufuor Memuso, and no take steps immediately as after mobile power, and no repeal sections a war young criminal code criminal libel, and no repeal. Now to Danko Kufuor ehu section 207 and 208 no. I know a offensive conduct and then false publication. But na do jawo wan fa no sanka. Mo MPP for kasa mo kenti and amenso mede na do abem no. Nya twom ne doso. Na do a repeal criminal libel no. Oja section 207 air false publication. Your friend is saying offensive conduct and 208 offensive conduct. Oja wo say yam fanya adwuma. In fact ne person ya chi nipa. Ye jeli nipa. Oheneba Bawumia was jailed for speaking one kuku nipa one tresekan. Oh please.
Attorney General NAMRA, not Parliament.
Collins.
Yeah, you say wow.
Okay. Yo.
Why NAMRA?
Mate.
Council.
Attorney General NAMRA and then your Parliament dia Mate.
Council.
I will be so surprised. Say as a former member of Parliament, Obetra Kasa Attorney General NAMRA. LGBTQ Attorney General impact. Mama kwai. Me say a state, you know, and now so would and you know this. Oh, this we can't do this. State, and you know I know better. You know it, so stop it. State, you know, MP and sponsor bills. Okay, of course, yeah. There is also the private member bill, but the state often and the state sponsored the bill. And then another Danko Kufuor was Attorney General. Echo repeal criminal libel. 207 and 208. But once a son. Nebres were the Yajumachi in Krofuk in Central Forkan. Yachini Pagum, a jelibi. The record is that Oheneba Bawumia was jailed. Then this year, press conference. And then hypocrisy. Ghana Emodia. Ade. Because Yachi MPP. Oheneba Bawumia, Yachen, what is that this in a press conference? Ye jelly ni kroma. What is obi ye demonstration? And then ya atwom no. All because there's obi MPP ni oye bone dia and ye nchira den. And then ye hu se samra na enye. Se nya ye ni ayenka, but it's not as if say na obi use. Because in any case, me imagine me nka da se na do Danko Kufuor na me achi Oheneba Bawumia. Oheneba Bawumia den no ye. Asem okokan ni say onu ni onim ni say Supreme Court for bema judgment a omkotie fi Kufuor do. Na asem okan wan twitio wan tweseka ye jeli ni kroma. E den nya atwom no. Sa bre na moyi. Iti enya ye nkosesamra no. Ni ye hu se we are starting afresh. But mo bi me magina me ka say ababa wa yi sem okan impugning criminality on the president. You say atemdidie keke. Criminality, me person me can say ni bi wa on the president. And we sit here munjano. If it happen na muhui. Me eni nkomo. See. Hwe enne. And again, it's linked to in some night Dejano. I'm so surprised that some people only understand criminal justice. And as a justice to mean say omukrofo free debia. And I say obi kokota at all costs as jelino according to your perspective. Bitien komono and with the greatest respect, judges me and son at Assembly, so John Dramani Mahama on count. Me am tia me NDC ni men count. Judges ne mu me nu na na do Danko Kufuor na appoint on call. Court of Appeal. Okay. Say if this is Niamo Kadia, there's a momo brace on judges now influence your manner. Why are we doing this to this country? If this is the benchmark, I'm say, Judge dia somewhere say, your president in Ayadia, and your bra mujeli said in Amno, Musmuko who high court judge nana. Prof, what in American has it? Let's stop this. Let us stop this. So if more person would say judge be a my decision, and your president now smart judge and so on, and your namusmuko high court judge and no jelly mamino. Sir Judge, you know, High Court Judge under your tenure, and management free there. I don't know, Court of Appeal, 3 wise men. And you at the end, you say, President, I. And then you no. Me, a lawyer. I don't want to go into them, even though I have my, as a lawyer, a trained lawyer, maybe, as I'm a MP, now me whine dining or court. Me name and my personal opinion on the matter. And I have all the decisions. High Court, yeah. Court of Appeal, yeah, why ye. your friend saying submissions made by the learned attorney general or the opposite enia you can say maame no so lawyer stroke making kind in here but then nyame ne advocate maame no menya ne lawyer nti nyame na me ba be chechim but to drag a binary also at the back and seminum as a spokesperson for the government, I would dispel it in a day. And then you have and then they see, Mammy, you had some tone so. And I saw send you then some token of free atas wound to me so sad started. Yeah, investigate you, Mammy no ha. And now, yes, charge sheet against her. Ya de court, Nini no ha. Ye di na semwa no court de bia kosi se osre court se the home fa no peso tukwan when you get it osre court and a court granting these are facts the order is there and now okoye no wa ma anti court to assembly shada no mountain kan omse no ombisa ne lawyer ntimi nka asem papa bia ye mra mu nso no because you are put on notice who you are aware see ye di wasem. It is until Huni or the and Attorney General at the time activate your friend is saying the provisions of trial in absentia, and the court admitted it. And a trial in absentia the course. Let me also state, and for those omwa any pebble tractor or mass and a lawyer, of course. But let me state to be on him criminal procedure near ye beyond. Say o lawyer o lawyer no you so cross examine state, you know. Witnesses no a brief one say wo ka wasema your lawyer na be catch. It is all criminal trial bia ye bisa attorney general no state no be prosecute the case into order na dance for beba order na dance for ba omu gina da kem ka o masem na ye the witness statement na ye so omu wi a wo lawyer for be cross examine say ye wi bibia ke judge no e wo asede so be prove say and obeka say o wa asema no yi anase oni asema no yi it is all asema no yi a na say ya catch say baby opin with defense it maame na preso ya say yes o wa asema no yi no opin defense no ni ho no abeka na asem but court no was satisfied say ebra ye ma wo se cobra no wa ma nti yetimi di wasem ene ye di ye NDC anye press conference NDC anye let's get the facts right NDC ango release state one anye demonstration because emra na say ye na adwuma kosi so bo ye trial in absentia ma me ni ho ne ye di asem ni wie jeli no NDC anye de bia because President Mahama gidi say osomo a eso obu akonta obi ankasa okroma oti on chairman NDC ni ba ko oyi press conference ene ye jeli ma me no any baby and taking steps for years no jelly no as at May 2024 and I'm lawyers President Kufuor that's what akunya and I'm lawyers filing notice of appeal no and mama met here front here says and President Mahama ba ye and I'm taking advantage and I will explain to you the entire chair and Toronto does do mama filing notice of appeal in May 2024 and I go Fred I'm here Attorney General. And I'm so surprised some whose statement be a Godfrey Damia release it. Or no nim. In fact, so no nimwa, then you will be the most incompetent Attorney General. Because a lot of things happened. Or finally, the state also filed a document, judgment, and read the judgment. Judgment now, Court of Appeal for no STT, I was paragraph 35. Let me read it to you. On bachelor on your course. Mamin can be a mechanical. Maame file notice of appeal no and a state no opposite car say or you fugitive oni Ghana ya hwenu po ye hu no nti oni right to so be file appeal. They had to go through this. The court had to hear the matter, determine say indeed esa otimi ya appeal. So that is what delayed the thing because there was even a preliminary issue of whether maame betimi ya appeal or not. So read 35. Me I knew about it but we are here no Court of Appeal also even mentioned it, and they dealt with it in the 94 and 97 page. Also, the respondent's preliminary legal objection, respondent the state, or Court of Appeal is dealing with it. My lords, I previously mentioned the respondents raised and contended a preliminary legal objection in its written address. Address no some state wom say maame no need right so be appeal because of a fugitive of justice, and this is what the Court of Appeal said about that matter. The respondent asserted that the appellant was a fugitive from justice who had absconded from the jurisdiction of this court and consequently was not entitled to invoke the appellate jurisdiction of this court to challenge her conviction and sentence. It's not law. But I know the all kind of it. But this means said there was an earlier contention. Some crony rights obey appeal, and the Attorney General is saying you him. What? Was you him? So let's stop. Me and some bebre wom me bebre, because if you tell me and the Court of Appeal dealt with it, say okay, so be a cause financial loss to the state. E ko wie bra di pandi sikadiako. Now, minor risk. This woman never was the one that paid the money. My meaning, no 2 years cano. So I sign contract now. And you're not the danko kufuadu are buying and a bit 2 years cano. So the Court of Appeal is saying that the ingredients improving say obia more minor risk cano and we pay you. This is what the Court of Appeal is saying. Ominim chen yan yati he ni awom rem. Enti omo aka say no, the ingredients no enkowie say what's an agreement. Ekowie ni tua. Ni tua no so nya ma me ni tua. So if there was anything wrong with it, whoever paid the money should not have paid. This is what the Court of Appeal is saying. But in the learned Attorney General currently inherited a was serving notices on the Court of Appeal and Yadrin. It's your back Supreme Court. I hear so be a sentence. Really? In fact, as I speak to you, I file a notice to stay the execution of the judgment. Actually, say near court kasi enjoy Mahama answer. Attorney General said no on Peneso. Now they no case or yes on can here. Court na kasanki and dear baby. But Attorney General so on Peneso. Let us give him the benefit of the doubt. Indeed, you are to forcing a trial. Our High Court, a black court in a catcher and so or case to answer. Case to answer no or we no. Or no kwaya appeal say only case to answer only a court in Yadrin. Or Koyan Court of Appeal. And then you are at force in Yadrin say he doesn't have a case to answer. And then another Danko Kufad. And also John Dramani Mahama and Court of Appeal judges. Look, and saying a special prosecutor say me. Attorney General view about special prosecutor. Supreme Court and should be down. Do you know the number of cases Attorney General will well lose work court? Because the judiciary no won't mean chani ombeka. But in this case, you know, me makase idea yes so key was idea we no. I said the woman was not heard. But in your court in form so let me stress it. As a lawyer, me jitum say in your court in form so. But the fact that in here no, Mahama no yantie nasem. Enti near your kagu ni so near to say na kendi, trust me. And say bebre kafa ken hotra. So be jina that comes to say any nya na betin approve. E betu kra ba say ni nya no kre. But in the meantime there you can say you 100 count, 500 count. By depending your opportunity, no, so can I say more. Now, better not say, Mommy, it is on record say she was not heard. Near your kind, our first why you say, and I'm surprised. Say, ne, me, you have 90 million, then, and no, in fact, one of the cases, I American say, Sikana Casa Crown, of your contract in Rio Jao, or be a bit how do you say, Mamma? It is a Sikano, say no person or Chessa Sikano, Mamma and Afadia, and you could be sad you Sikano, and you can Furiata. And a fight. I've 2 minutes now, made the man when I started. Where the audience area coming 2 minutes. So what I'm saying is that Yantias, yes, ye ran a teacher of mine. Say Obi and I can say Court of Appeal, Crona and I won't to me, after you're convicted or so your Emrano Neya Juma. It is a one to me in TV, Viasan or your Court of Appeal. We wish him well. Maybe Tia said, or Court of, and they have so much confidence or Court of Appeal, Musa want to be a bit free. And into your assessor grounds of appeal be brave. Say, court in any yard, Junior Jana, or Mephi, Sicilia da pass, yet you be tum keke, by the mere words and honorable Teha, Case, a ye wafesika, Sicilia da pan called them 1,000 years. Emrano Yasana Yajuma. Said Yaoba Kabiara, at the end of the day, you have to prove it. The person will have his day in court. Say, you can't say, Ghana at 50, you take Chrome has say, Minkai a you rap a jump pianimne, your friend is saying, Tarzan. And then you Anthony Chroma. But you are doing here, they went on appeal and had it all struck down. Yes, Jessica good polity Muniz, Oman go free. And will be a day. Emrano, I told the Bia just would be out Timrana, see, I'll be who send you pretty. If you had sent your own Huniaman, then yes, I net. It will back out the back down court, African court, and baby, also no. Aha, Ankoye, a Bassa, you're right, you know, and you saw bear appeal. which the Attorney General is doing. So appealing the Supreme Court no say Nyombe Kenya. We all near try baby. But to say, and I'm surprised no more can answer no more impugn by, but no more attacking judges because John Dramani Mahama sabi no namni baby. Oh no, and you know the assembly. Ethiopia near the assembly who can assemble. Are you warning the justices of the Court of Appeal?
Marimfa the academy prof. Now, yes, sorry. Two nukramas.
Neapon. Aye. Yapon say.
So a man.
And never to
Debbie, and some of those. One man. Where your preliminary you? One man, Debbie, myself. And Nadia, my brother. My neighbor, Puffy Kumbosa. I just said, nay, holiday. At the moment, Nadia, my young Juma will be
Prof. Mazapo.
Yes. Quickly, presidential term. Yes, 5 years. Margin Muno. Unse wa 1 year no ye timide ya na fe abehye gu na ka 3 active years. Me sure say no na ye nkomo ama prempe committee nso e de 1 year bi aka ho. Drobeju atrema president obebo adwuma no. In 4 years obetimi abo. President omo adwuma no man 10 years kra omo adwuma. Enti media metwe aban ene aban ahodo ebebe a kire na dwen so we go through they shouldn't think that they have a certain plenty time. Obeka to eni atina 5 years na so. Omo BBM manga na work must start from day one. Moya campaign na mo planning you should plan from January 7th and 8th. Senebeya you will not see say your treat time mo and your train time na beka to any atina 5 naba. Chief Justice term 10 years is better. One yana konya Chief Justice be no younger. Na yes okotena so until 70. In switch to emu ehihwa say be all reforms be my judiciary no. They say within 10 years, do it and then do it well and go. Ministerial appointments, you see a capping at 60. For me, is good. But the current situation here, meaning lawyer waha na say whatever the consequential effects of everybody say kindness and mube trash emua. Omunye clear. Is it ministers near 60 and now say people of a ministerial category and 60? Because a baby has here near 5 ministers 60. Near one another 60 appointees, they have everything equal to a minister. And no more skatuya, omo this, omo that. Do you get it? That's my warrior going forward. May I say, capping it at 60 is fantastic, but is it the case say cap 60? Now if you are CFO B, appointees B, pseudo deputy regional ministers B, spokesperson B, obehene monuments mono. No, any minister there, pepe the name say. Minti de ye ko enim me say the clearance beba ma yehu but me kai bia na kosa prempe committee na say government mpenifo asi akodi omo ho ni tia omo clear ho ne ma yen. A free December 7th but November 7th and our first week of November I think it's fine. I na transition period near too crashed, especially run of crack or Bawumia adependence. There's virtually just about 2 weeks for government, a whole government machinery to hand over and I say do transition. I can't be anymore and so old conversation I'm say abba. Dual citizenship sebe ode Bernard Bediako. And now ode
Collins
Ousua Bankwa. Nese kobase ukita Germany citizenship sebe now nye Germany ni. Dia den suomu di mfie wo hakura en na den chem kwa den ne kan say yampa so boa me so boa o se kokobu bibini nkwa na wo kokobu boni ni bi o ye den ya o ye bibini e ya na paadie ni ne ma bi na ma obi e kofa foreign citizenship de ka na yo mesre ho so mehwe say senke beba no na caveat bi hihiem say even for the positions of members of parliament then yes dual citizenship made no it depends on who record. So you CIA need a certain intelligence officer macro chronoa. We still can't trust you with some classified information for the offices we are going to 70. I'm looking at saying wholesale say we are dual citizen keke. You say even dual citizen performance but now you the other country no. A bit me put security ne may be at a certain position of compromise. Ni death penalty there sabi obi akran fanya ejuma pen. And parliament na 300 MPs. Is it the case that the 276 will be elected?
Yes.
And then the remaining 24 will be selected, appointed Another, are we selecting them or appointing them?
They will come with the modalities, but them say we see the disability,
yes, women, and then women, some special I'm sure say we will wait for the to. But means that who in
appointment but them some no be your modalities they are restricted. It should only be these people. Because I appointed one age. Why modality be
the issues kakra banti in say they will clear all those things for me. That's my take on the.
But I'm sure said your number of Sisa Ubenya no. Na Ubenya Sakota no.
Well, when they put the modalities
what I suspect rather than say no, Omonyan is an UBN, but with ABI part 20 years. Oman say, when we a PPP new, what matters is that you should be within SOE, as a woman, and disability analysis. I think that would be fairer. Because you see, let's also be careful. There would surely a brief be implemented and there will be a regime in place. Yes, if it's not clear enough, we better do be a gerrymandering, which may not go.
And we will seek those. I will rest my case on that first part. Second part, delegate system there. May try ruling never next week Wednesday. No, I'm still convinced. Say delegate system here inherent and natural. If for some reason we are going to take away delegate system at a point, then we must be ready to do the things and do them right. Now, I made the Achimangwe be just out in the example. Voters, registered voters, over 150,000 plus.
Yes.
If I say a stronghold of the MPP, about 100,000 of them, if they choose, can register as MPP members. Now, Moko delegate system and care about 1,300 people in the Tuaba.
Sure.
Okay, Prof. Sarpong.
Yes, sir.
I mean, can you to Mahama? Or say the government has accepted the size of parliament be capped and be proposed, and we propose a ceiling of 300 members.
Right.
Of these, 276 will be elected directly.
Yes.
In constituency elections like we already have.
Yes.
The remaining 24 will be elected through proportional representation among women,
proportionality,
persons with disabilities, and the youth. An independent study will be commissioned into the design of the proportional representation element.
Fantastic.
Capping parliament saves cost, and the reserved element opens the door of our legislature wider to those our politics has historically kept on the outside.
Now, only maybe. This is probably the implemented area. You may have to get a new
chamber. Yeah. Question: can maybe someone on say, are we ready? Are we ready?
By all means.
But even on the side of some proportional representation, say maybe women bit no. People with disability, I don't have a problem. But maybe women bit now. Don't we already have women parliamentarians?
You see, made a mess. Here, oh my, yeah, political way no. Yes, so is I dear be a bayonet, Bessadio, yeah. See, I'm not careful. I ain't do US no. Me dear, say yes, say yes, see. Yan sheye sa independent bank Ghana ha you judge for cramo where you here Honorable Collins there judges crack on myself so prefer independent there will be a regime also a baby as we because independent and Ukrainian independence or man we as a come then also have that be any argument let us have laws a definite and yes subject to be because you do be ya be ye niam be nipa beti ase entina oho kakra no well abaya
entina me say white paper da so there ba me sure say modalities ni niam na we ba still no and there's an opportunity say clarify niam be nya sa
na no ye be ase ye ne be to so aba
yes
so aja
say it still remain proposal amendment proposal so I'm sure say parliament
we cry ye be ye friend say
me person me born
referendum ana sure Yatache a fence and train provisions ana.
I'm not too sure.
13 no diabano.
So far,
I think yes, because you know
presidential term no na be
presidential na call 5 no.
And then can entrench.
No parliament the army sure say entrench.
4 year.
Parliament
4 year. President entrench clause.
Nipa do no I know the
yeah entrench.
4 year.
But when entrench.
Okay.
Capping
na say we ma dey cry Charlie.
No entrench won't be.
They say we say citizens bet me activate
and when I make no
in the constitution.
I want a bogus cry. Unim dintia. The danger is almost 10% of registered voters. 10%. It can even come from one region.
Lawyer, Pajo next week that been what peta mbra na ye nin common fasa review.
No,
I think it is important. See, me bawo. Ye bet say ye bet to aba. It is important we understand what we are proposing.
Yeah, of course.
The education in beba. Senti na eco parliament. Now, e bi o ho a utimi say straight away. On bebogu. They say citizens make amendments. Yes, 10%, just 10%. That's why they can come from one region. My
prof in 5 minutes.
Okay. And I make shortly on the delegate system. They say the same be about transfer Supreme Court in their ruling next week Wednesday. No, ebema both consequential orders and some direction guidelines be but my fear is even at the parliamentary candidate selection now say wholesale no any the other two presidential candidate selection now say wholesale no I can imagine the abuses that may arise if Supreme Court therefore commits the state to finance that particular thing because say na party nisika you cannot increase the numbers for them. Is it,
Prof? The other challenge here is look, and I make our kind article 33 in here. Directive principles of state policy. There shall always be, there shall be by Yenisika. There be. Chapter 6. Yenisika and Tientiminia. Say, so Casse, as so mine on a sponsor political parties are agent of mine Nisika Sir. So mine do baby near Nisika. What will we do? Now, me and some you know, may share with Supreme Court. Me person me kind. One. I don't know ye the election of chairman.
If you know the candidate,
and if I see on
why only parliamentary and presidential? I am not getting
because I won't book on an account.
How do you yeah? Are we saying that? Because
I can also share my view. Okay, what you
it is not about your view, it is about the views of the law lords.
Because you see,
it's not the law lords.
You see, at this point,
the view of the law lord.
No, but once the judgment is out, no, it's out to people to express their opinion.
The other thing within 1 year, no, a transition.
Yes, within 1 year.
But you see, near me say within 1 year transition will be between I and your pedia. And none after 1 year, no. Oh, Baba Casa will be enforced. Unipa no be quaco enforce say me party anye A B C D no. Okoka na muhwe na party no so kasa sani okay. Na me ni ehho akade am de be sade na. Why na be chila?
I know the Nana have a patch me position on this.
It's not about your position. Money.
Okay.
Prof, I got 2 minutes we mama.
Nana me time no dey.
Only on my boy in the constitution. We are very useful aggression.
Enti o de wadaruma sa na akoba ndem ma me nko menu aba said nam case ni so. Me comment me say sisi aye ka say she was faced with 78 charges and aye ka say if I say counts
a different from
charges right say if I say when me a PNT in the case na shada in the properly my worry is why was the appeal not an opportunity and I say intiminim say be as CF na age bekwa we should still have an opportunity to have her cross examined on those counts no ni who say FDA we sign ho because now we know you see when me enya enough responses near there and I make her say she was tried in absentia and there wasn't any proof beyond reasonable doubt no partly was because she was not there herself to be engaged for whatever a year na court person establishment to be established Cecilia waba when are we going to get that opportunity to maybe reopen the case properly because sabe atwetwe so well, near lawyer Penka, former deputy attorney general. Senior Utiena, he sounds extremely convincing, like the way lawyer Slimsai also sounds convincing on the cases he is prosecuting. We now call the same law school. Do you get it? Until let's have that opportunity, and me brush it over case we so say. Yenya opportunity as simple, you be reopen case in one. For the no new FDA waba. Na yenya follow the cases that the counts that were put before her as against. Or no sooner response of the baby. Now, if you proper termination of the case. Secondly,
So let me help you.
Bro.
What the court of appeal
imagine the
does?
time,
Oh, there be a yampo.
On lawyer, on OACC for.
Oh, there be.
On set you, Mira or Kasana Mebe Mono. Look at the way the temper course. So on say open, we are now a bem.
You see what the court of appeal does, and these things are useful. A retrial, a rehearing. It's a record now, more the buy. I see what a court had no more who say BBR courting and uncourting.
Yeah.
Now you are saying it's true. They could have ordered, say, if you're discharging and ordered for a retrial. They can do that. Yeah. But you see, what it is, they say, she's been convicted. A retrial in the meantime, or yeah. So when who said yeah. So as a state, nothing prevents us. Although not on the same count, because I know the but it will be BBT. Tricky. Until I make Ghana 50 there was a procedural error on the part of the then Attorney General for President Mills. So. Asam na kasa so be a fesika so be am fesika yankomda. But once on grounds of law procedure ya bo. If you say out mean say nkofa and na wo ye bibia so ye careful titru so ye state attorney because when we near the procedure and bo assembly go a baby a we ko bia di pa be ka say ye jai me.
Very well. Now I think say a waste of time. On the part of AG so be
go ahead.
I said so because Prof, me patch.
And
no. Attorney General Neka say, or say, Tio, we written submission of respondent in answer to appellant's submissions pursuant to leave granted by this honorable court on 1st April 2026. Or say, we wish to bring to the attention of this honorable court that the record of appeal before the court page 1 of 42 no?
Page 1
yes introduction or say we wish to bring to the attention of this honorable court that the record of appeal before the court is not complete. We state that all the exhibits tendered by the prosecution during the trial does not form part of the record. The only documents found as part of the record are some of the documents which formed part of the disclosure done by the prosecution.
And what you saying?
Me person say Attorney General na detective who say records before court no.
Mr. I have
me patcho. I did make kind saying. All
right, gentlemen. Yes, Prof. Sarpong.
But
please, you don't have 2 minutes. You have 1 minute to wrap up.
I just have two things to say. One
the mic no off into
the first thing I make a question. The first thing I make a question you say what say. Now me person me be say do people actually abscond from justice? My answer me answer me say yes. We are told that Furiata is a fugitive of the court or of a law or something. We're absconding from justice. How did they do it? I am of the view that Madam said Nam Temaklo went well. But the continuous stay there out of the jurisdiction of the country constitutes an abscond from justice. Unless anybody else, and senior lawyer is here, if he can, but not to, but that is my view. People do abscond from justice. In fact, today we are saying that she wasn't around to be heard. No, what's required to go hospital? Say one say I may be wa. Who can hunt in a yanti we do no. You cannot exonerate yourself from say. And my last thing I'm person make a meaning say meaning I the time they say court nankasa so a duty to protect themselves from the public impression. We they the object. I'm talking about the optics. People read some stories like NDC bar no aba. Oba umube file appeal, then eventually should be
acquitted. But appeal was filed in 2024. I told you.
What must education then? Say appeal was earlier. Appeal was heard.
And there was a preliminary issue.
And today the storyline seems to be fitting. the object may be very, very true on legal grounds, on this, on that.
Optics
Sincerely, let people not play or downplay the effect of the optics. No, that.
All right. I come.
Lord Nenin.